Well, here I am again. After reviewing the original live-action classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the movie, it's only fair I review the following sequels. We fast-forward a year later to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. Something big is happening, and it revolves around the same ooze that made Splinter and the Turtles mutate 15 years ago. So with the help of a very different yet hotter April O'Neil and pizza delivery boy Keno, the Turtles intend to find out. Meanwhile, Shredder has survived getting crushed into a pulp and has kidnapped the scientist that worked on the ooze, Professor Jordan Perry, played by the late great David Warner, in which to force him to create not Rocksteady and Bebop, with the Turtles being the only ones left to take them on themselves. While it's not as good as the first, I do still have a soft spot for it. Paige Turco replaces Judith Hoag as April O'Neil, but sadly isn't given much to work with. She's not awful, she comes across decent, and she's still gorgeous even today, but I didn't feel her in the role the way I did with Judith Hoag. Not Rocksteady and Bebop are far too adorable to be intimidating, reducing Shredder into a joke villain, calling him Mama constantly, and having Super Shredder was one of the biggest wasted opportunities ever, as he goes out like a fucking idiot again. Man, I feel bad for Kevin Nash in that role. And the film in general feels very sanitised compared to the first one, all thanks to the constant complaints by idiot mums about the violence and the swearing in the first, especially Judith Hoag. Fucking traitor. Seriously, it only contained one curse word, damn, and nothing else. Also, the violence was barely even bloody, but still, they had to rid the Turtles of ever using their weapons, which is the most retarded thing ever, because you're taking away one of the things that made the first one great, its edge. Fuck the bubblegum crap, give me back the swearing and the violence, that shit was awesome. But that aside, the Turtles and Splinter are still likeable, and David Warner still looks like he's giving it his all as Professor Jordan Perry. The fights, while more slapsticky than the first, are still fun, and the makeup costumes puppeteering still looks great. Even Donatello's stuntman from the first movie, Ernie Reyes Jr., provides decent support as pizza delivery boy Keno, and while not the best actor, he is still likeable. Just ignore the crap Vanilla Ice cameo, nowhere near as great as his tour de force performance in Cool as Ice. Nah, just kidding, that's fucking shit as well. It's middling, but I still have a soft spot for it. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, which was released in March 1993. In this, April is accidentally sent back to feudal Japan by an ancient scepter, so now it's up to the Turtles to go back in time to rescue her. God, what the fuck happened here? The costumes look absolutely awful, the story is boring. Elias Cortez, despite his best efforts, is reduced to a babysitter. Even his role as Casey's ancestor seems wasted. Okay, there's some storylines with the Turtles wanting to stay back in time, as they're accepted more there than they are back home, but honestly, I just didn't care. They are still their usual optimistic, wisecracking selves, but this time the wisecracks are lame, and I think the only plus was the scenes with Casey and the Warriors playing hockey, which did get a laugh. Paige Turco is very sadly wasted as April, and Stuart Wilson is just there as a generic villain, even though he does get some pretty funny lines. One of the worst? Maybe, but still a very weak instalment. But despite the trilogy's faults, it was fun to go through these movies again. Well, apart from the last one, but it was still great to know there was still some substance between the nostalgia goggles, and its gritty look from the first would be an inspiration for the 2003 animated reboot, which, after watching for the first time to prepare for the Stupenzo stream, which I'll link down below in the description, I actually think improved on the late 80s series. So check them out, still worth a watch, despite the lacklustre third, and whether you beautiful bastards are Northern English or not, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, but right now, that's me done, and I'm off to the pub.